How to make $100,000 in 2025 wholesaling real estate. What is up, guys? Zach in here, and in today's video, I'm going to show you how to make $100,000 ASAP as soon as possible wholesaling real estate. So if you are brand new, heck, you are out here, maybe made 50 grand last year, and heck, I want to go and make 6 figures wholesaling real estate in 2025. I want to make it the fastest way possible. This is going to be my step-by-step guide on how you are going to make $100,000 in 2025. Here's the best part. If you want to make $1 million, just add a zero of everything I say. Let's make it even easier. You're going to make $250,000. This will help you too. This is just for anybody looking to actually make 6 figures wholesaling real estate right now. I'm going to show you exactly step-by-step how I'm going to do it, my process, systems, and everything in there. So let's really get into this and break down my entire system. So guys, I want everyone to be in the comments today. Guys, tell me, where are you out of? What city, what area, what country? Where are we wholesaling? Are we in Chicago in the house? Can we get Houston in the house? I want to hear everybody in the wholesaling real estate space and seeing what is going on and where they're coming from. Love to talk to you guys and see how y'all are doing. So let's kind of break down wholesaling real estate on a tier system. So let's kind of make sure everyone can see this. But like, if you look at wholesaling real estate, let's do a really bad line because I'm not good at lines. All right. Okay. I'm more of a typing guy. I'm more of a numbers dude. I'm not an artist. But let's kind of look at a number line for wholesaling real estate right here, okay? This is like a left to right number line. And what we need to look at is if we're looking to make $100,000, right? We can look at exactly from no money to some money, right? And we got to roughly look at how much money we have, right? So right here, this little scale on the bottom is just going to be the cost per deal to acquire a deal in wholesaling real estate. Now, we got to understand with this line right here, it's going to be easier to get a deal, right? When we spend more money to get a wholesaling deal, it's usually easier to get the deal. Right here, it is going to be harder, right? That usually means more time. Okay, so let's look at finding wholesaling deals as this way, right? Easier, less time. So we look at wholesaling like this when we're like, okay, well, how do I get a deal? What should I be doing? Well, roughly what I found is it takes more time, the less money you spend to get a deal, versus obviously the more money you spend. That's why when you see somebody talking about wholesaling, the automatic thing to do, like if you paid me 14 grand for a coaching program and I want to sound like I'm the best guy ever, I'm just going to tell you, hey, go spend $10,000 because you don't have to use any time. It's easy for me to teach you that, like duh. Just go drop $5,000, $7,000 in direct mail this month, and boom, I'm the best coach in the world. Like that's what pretty much everyone on the internet in wholesaling kind of tells you. Hey, just go drop $15,000, $20,000, $30,000. Now, the reason you're watching this video, and the reason most people follow me versus everyone else in wholesaling is, guys, we get it. Yeah, I would love to spend 14 grand this month in marketing if I had the 14 grand, but I do not have 14 grand in marketing. This is why you're watching this, right? And if you had 14 grand, there's way better uses than just going all the way to the easy thing. It's a lot easier to do that, okay? So let's kind of look at overall the wholesaling space of kind of where we're at right now, right? So we have like $0 right here. I mean, that's pretty obvious. We got no money. And there are strategies that go all the way to about 5 grand per deal plus. Now, I do not hate marketing. I love any aspect of marketing for wholesaling. I do get a little chippy, I guess, when it's like spending 5 grand plus when you could be spending 500 for the same deal if you know how to deal with the right marketing systems. And so there's so many different systems on here. So let's kind of break down these exact systems and what they kind of mean, right? So we already know what cost per deal is, right? So we'll just put cost per deal right here. All right, makes sense. But we have so many on each side of this in this business, right? So let's kind of go to the free side. So can we, yeah, we can see the free side, right? Like on the free side, obviously we could just, cold call, right? That costs no money. We can basically have Google Voice do a lot of the texting, Google Voice SMS. We can use, I'm going to use GV for Google Voice, right? Google Voice is a free platform for cold calling sellers, right? That is one you can do. It is a possible one. But basically, we got Google Voice for texting. We can call, right? There's a lot of there's a lot of different systems. If we want to get more free, right, we're going to do a lot of government lists, right? Pre-foreclosures, tax liens, delinquencies, right? We're going to be mostly pulling government lists. Now, on top of this too, we can door knock. That is a great method too. We can do some door knocking. It really costs no money to go out here and knock, knock, knock to get a deal. We can go out here and do like Zillow Fizbos. That's another free way to get a wholesaling deal, right? There's a lot of time, very intense to do, but it doesn't cost anything, right? We can get JV deals. People sending us wholesaling deals that they locked up, they need help finding a buyer. So JVs is another great one on there. There's a lot of these different type of systems. One thing I will tell you is you're going to have to do a lot of what I call manual skip tracing. So a lot of what I call like true people search, cyberbackgroundchecks.com, right? You can kind of ask someone, hey, who has X leads? Maybe I can get some skip tracing from you. There's so many. And okay, I don't want to get all the way here, but like you can use like PandaDoc. So if you're virtually wholesaling, you can use that for the e-signing. Now, a lot of people in virtual wholesaling will tell you like, hey, Zach, you have to use DocuSign or something like that, and you have to spend $40 a month for e-signing. PandaDoc's okay. It's free. That's the best we're going to get here in wholesaling is like free, but it is a method that does work, that does get us success. So I will tell everyone watching this, I'm dropping everything today. PandaDoc is a good one for like the free. So we know on the free side here, there's a lot of good aspects for success. Now, let's kind of look here, and then we'll just put easier this way so we understand. Now, we have some other strategies that are a little better, right? So it does get exponentially easier down the number line for wholesaling, right? And so we kind of have the next part of the number line here, and this is going to be like $40 a month. Now, I'm telling you, once you go from $0 all the way to $40, life gets a lot easier. I promise you this. Your marketing gets a lot easier. Now, there are people watching this. Now, I'm not going to say the vast majority, but I would say there's a majority of people, and I always think I am a wholesaler for the people, and there are a lot of wholesalers watching this that are in South Africa, they are in the Philippines, they are in all these different countries where they got no money, and that's okay. And it's not like you can go out here and get like $5,000 for marketing, right? So a lot of these strategies will work for you. VPNs, there is a free VPN. It is called Windscribe. It is a great VPN. So that's a virtual private network if VPNs aren't working for you. But this is a great one. Now, once you get the $40, if you're American, right, a lot easier. Life gets way easier for this. So let's kind of talk about $40, right? $40, you can really only implement one type of wholesaling system. And this is for in-person, but this is going to be driving for dollars, right? Having gas money to go drive and look for ugly houses. And then one of my favorite ones, I tell everyone, just put sticky notes out. I love sticky notes. They're one of my favorite ways to find wholesaling deals. And you just kind of get a yellow sticky note that says, hey, me and my partner looking to buy a couple properties in the area for cash. Put a Google Voice number, boom, you're good. What I prefer to do is put like a sticky note and just say, hey, this is Zach. I had a quick question about your property. Please give me a call back. And you do very well. It's insane that I'm one of the few people that tell you that's a great way to find a wholesaling deal, but it works really, really good. So it's one of my favorite ways, but I'm telling you, the reason why I prefer the $40 versus any of this. Now, guys, if you're watching, we got a lot of people watching this live, right? There are probably going to be 50, 60 people watching this live that got their first deal last year from these methods, just watching live. Probably thousands overall who watch this video, thousands get their first deal from this method, like by far. Like it's insane the amount of success there. So just want to give everyone FYI there. But for $40, this is way better. The reason is because I don't have to sit behind a computer for 4 or 5 hours a day and get a wholesaling deal by just doing it. I don't have to, right? And here I got to call hours, 60, 70, 80 hours if I really want to start doing well with no money at all. It gets a little pricey, it gets a little tough, but it is one of the best, fastest ways, and it is the largest way most wholesalers get their first wholesaling deal. Most people do not get the first wholesaling deal spending $5,000 because you got into wholesaling because you do not have $5,000 to spend, right? Like, duh. And so most people are broke, and that's okay. As I got started wholesaling, it's okay. And so it's okay to have no money. The thing is, once you start getting money, then you start using better systems. So we're starting here, and then we're going to keep going all the way here. But the reason is, if you have the $40 for the month to spend, I would do that. I started about $100 when I start with bandit signs. Way better. So that's the third part, is going to be bandit signs here. I love bandit signs. Now, I would include on here too, I'm going to call these DBS. They're called Digital Bandit Signs. We actually just released the Digital Bandit Sign Academy course in freewholesaling.com, my free wholesaling course. We just released an entire course within the course called the Digital Bandit Sign Academy, where we teach you how to do digital bandit signs, posting in Facebook groups and Craigslist ads. Amazing resources, absolutely for free. If somebody do me a big favor in the comments and just link freewholesaling.com in the comments, I really would appreciate that. But basically, these are the 3 ones, because you don't have to. So the average person calling has to go out here and just text, call for 4, 5, 6 hours. And it is a lot of work. It is not fun. It is a grind. But one thing I will tell everyone watching this is, if you want to have fun with your wholesaling, drawing for dollars is the thing. Now, but like, what do you mean? Well, I can go put on my Chief Keef, all right, on the headphones and the AirPods, and just start driving around pre-foreclosure properties. I don't have to door knock, right? I can just put a sticky note on the door and just keep driving around, listening to my rap. Now, there's no marketing in wholesaling that you can do that where you're making money while listening to your favorite music or podcasts or whatever you want, besides doing reverse drawing for dollars, which is putting sticky notes on properties. Drive around, find an ugly house. Hey, boom, just put the address in and you keep going to the next one. I absolutely love doing that. Is a lot less painful. Now, there is gas money involved, so just telling you that there is, but it is, for $40, it is way better. All right, like it's just way better. If I'd eat beans and rice and just do this as marketing versus this, that's what I do. I just FY for everyone. What is Netflix? Netflix is like $20 per month now. It's absolutely insane. Like, just get rid of Netflix. Learn, and I'm not going to say that, but learn how to find shows online. But basically, that's what I'd be doing. Now, the next part here is going to be $97. Now, this is when things get a little better. This is when things just get a ton more easier. And this is really when you start cold calling with a dialer. Cold calling with a dialer. Now, I would just basically use Ninja Mode dialer. I'd use a Ninja Mode dialer. I would use X Leads now. And we just have way more marketing we can do. So I think for the vast majority at $97, this is really where we're going to be doing this. And then I'd be adding here probate mailers. So I'd be adding probate mailers on here. Now, in freewholesaling.com, we show you how to do probate mailers. It's one of the best ways to be doing this, but you just send mailers out in the probates and you're good to go. Now, we go here, and this is when the systems get a little crazier. I think after you get your first deal or two, this is a good system for you to be doing. But pretty much this is going to be my $500 a month system. And we're going to we could extend this a little, right? Yeah, let's extend this a little so I don't take over the whole number line here. But if we extend this here to like here, let's make that the 5K. And then we have another one on there, and then we'll be good on there. But basically, there we go from there. And now at $500, we're going to be doing kind of a little different system. So we're going to, let's just erase this part. Okay, we get Ninja Mode, we get cold calling dialer, right? At about $500, this is if you you have a job, you just want to plug and play a system. Like, you really want to just like start going a little crazier on here. Now, the one thing a lot of people tell you is like, oh, you just go out here and get a dialer and go crazy. The problem is, if you watch any other system, or I just listen to other wholesalers and how much money they spend on their marketing, it's astronomically crazy to me. Like it's like there's like a pit in my stomach when I hear it. But like $500, if I was to get $100K a year of $500 a month in marketing, that's probably what I would do just starting out if I had a budget. But roughly what I would do was I'd go out here and just get X leads. I know, blah. But the reason, I'm not saying this because I'm trying to plug, oh, X leads, it's the best. It is the best. But the reason is you get unlimited free skip tracing and you get an auto dialer and you get a whole texting system all included. Like that's just the basic reasoning for it. I don't know what else I can tell you. But X leads, I would get that and then basically use Ninja mode. I use Ninja mode for basically large SMS. And then I'd use it for the auto dialer in there. Now, on top of that too, Ninja mode has also a triple line dialer. So it's a triple line dialer in there you can start using. And you can start validating your sequences. And then really $500, right, I would be adding VAs. And then the real secret of Ninja mode, the one thing I've been kind of working really hard behind the scenes on making it right is just implementing what we call the triple tap system. So this is not like a new wholesaling system. It's really just FYI, if you want to know what a triple tap system is, it's basically a system where we hit the lead with an SMS, and then everyone that doesn't answer it gets hit with a call, and then we drop them an email, and then maybe we can drop them a voicemail. And that is kind of like what I call triple tap system. Why? But there's 4, Zach. Well, usually we don't get to this point. Because some people don't want to drop voicemails, but you can if you want. It really depends if they're opted in or not, whatever you want. But like this triple tap system has been the best system possible because it's well organized. You just click a button and all of them start getting pushed out. And you just have a good marketing system for there, right? For under $500, this is by far the best system. Guys, I'm getting into all the details today. Everyone really wants the whole instruction guides and everything like that too. We can all break it down. So we're getting this all done. So that's really what I do at about $500. I would say that most wholesalers starting out are spending like thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars for not much. And it drives me crazy. Now at like $1,000 plus, right? This is just when you add VAs to this system. Like for this system right here, you just probably add 3, 4, 5 VAs and just kind of expand it. I can kind of show you how a budget like that works. But I think for most beginners, that's probably not where you want to be at. Now, once you start getting into crazy land, $5,000 plus, like that's where I'm at. That's where a lot of the larger wholesalers are at you're doing way more than $100,000 a year, right? You are probably in the 7 figures, right? You're just doing a lot more bigger stuff. Now, for most people, I'd say the best profitable operations are right now hitting up direct mail like crazy. They're hitting up SMS on a large scale, right? Large cold calling. And then some, not all, are doing what I call basically internet leads, right? So these are internet leads. Now, what I'll tell you with internet leads is you just got to find internet leads that are giving you a good ROI or return on your investment. Now, what I found from this type of large scale marketing, you are going to want to be at a 5 to 8x ROI on this type of marketing. That means if I'm spending $20,000 a month in marketing, I need to be making at least $100,000 a month. Now, a lot of internet leads do not hit that. Some do. Some wholesalers can make it work. A lot of wholesalers on internet leads are hitting a 2 to 3x ROI, which is not terrible. I'm not a hater. Okay, I'm not a hater on that, right? It's a good return, I guess. But at 5 to 8x with calling, SMS, direct mail, these ROIs are crazy. Like an ROI for like this system, you're looking at like 20 to 40x return on your spend. This is infinite. Triple tap system, you're probably looking at a 20x, if I'm being honest with you. So roughly, you gotta look at the ROI, return on investments. You're at 20x plus, you're at 5x here. This is probably 30. You're probably at 40, and this is infinite, right? So this is kind of how I look at a marketing system, right? You probably get a 30x return on your ad spend here. You're definitely, let's just call it 40. You're getting a 40x here, and then basically infinity, right? Because infinity x because you spent $0. So this is roughly where you're looking. Now, here's the thing about marketing and wholesaling, right? The less money you spend, obviously, the better return on the cost and the investment you get. And that's why it just keeps going up. Internet leads are probably 3 to 2x. Now, I have some guys I know that do SEO. They're at like 10 and 12x because they do the SEO themselves and they're like SEO little wizards. I call them nerds, but they're pretty good at it. That's not bad. So what I'm going to do is, I got a lot more I got to share with you. So what I want you to do is I want everyone watching this to screenshot this for a second. This is live. This is not recorded. I'm not re-releasing this pretty much anywhere. So I would screenshot this because you're not going to get this for probably a very long time unless I do another video like that. So I'm going to give everyone about 10, 15 seconds to screenshot this because it is going to be erased. So I'm going to let everyone watching this get it going. There we go. There we go. All right. We screenshotting this. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Screenshots over. We are erasing it. All right. We got a lot more to share. We got a lot more marketing to do. But basically, that is my system from kind of left to right of kind of roughly know if I'm looking to make money wholesaling, I got to look at my budget and I got to see what to do. Now, we want clear instructions, right? I think everyone kind of wants a little more like what to do. Now, let me tell you something, all right? I'm going to give you one of my biggest pet peeves I've seen from people, right? So the first thing is, a lot of people tell you, Zach, I'm going to give you my system. Zach, what's your system? What's your process? I'm actually genuinely curious, everyone watching this. Does anybody here know the difference, and do not look it up, between a system and a process? Because when I was writing this video out and I was like really like researching like what can I do, I'm looking back what's working, what's not, like really just trying to get the best type of content possible for you guys. I'm like, I don't think the average person knows the difference between a system and a process. Now, a system is going to be like the things you're using or like what I call like a framework. And this is going to be like, hey, X leads, true people search, skip tracing, like that stuff. And a process is like step by step, you do this, 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 and this. And so what I wanted to do was like, I didn't want to give you like a step-by-step video of just like you do this step one, because there's so many, you saw how many ways there is. Like we go step-by-step in each one. And then I didn't want to tell you, hey, just use this type of voice or whatever. I wanted to kind of like mix it together. So I'm making my own system and process like combination. We don't really see that too much in wholesaling real estate. So let's kind of talk about $100 grand a year wholesaling. Okay. You want to make $100,000 a year. What's system process combined? System process? I don't know. 100 grand a year, system plus process. I don't think the average person knows the difference between the two. But let's kind of break this all down and share the difference between these two. Now, let's kind of look at the 3 types of ways you can get in this, right? So I want to kind of show a hard to easy mode. All right. So is this in it? There we go. Okay. So let's kind of do hard first, right? This is going to be the hardest way to go get 100 grand a year. I'm going to show the average way you can get that deal. And let's kind of do the easiest way, right? Let's do the easy mode. Now, obviously, we know the easier, the more money we have to spend. So we got to understand where roughly in wholesaling we got to be at here, right? We got to spend a lot more money here. We don't really spend any money here, but it is harder. Do we understand this? Are we in agreement? Okay, good. All right. So if we're doing a more difficult, harder system in wholesaling, we are going to first have a system of manual skip tracing. So True People Search, cyberbackgroundchecks.com, manual skip tracing. So if we want somebody's phone number, we have to go out here and just go copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. Wow, that's a lot. But it is kind of the only way if we have no money to get phone numbers. It's kind of the name of the game. What are we going to do? Now, I will tell you, you can probably bum off of somebody some skip tracing. The reason is Xleads has 60,000 skip traces you get every single month with the X plan. So there's usually somebody in freewholesaling.com in the community or anybody in the Discord that will help give you like 2,000 or 3,000, 4,000 skip traces. You can definitely bum one off of someone maybe. I know there's some couple people in there that'll help you out. Now we are going to be we're going to be using Google Voice for our dialing and texting. I think this is pretty obvious. I've said that from the beginning. We don't use our own phone number. If we live in Canada, right, we want to just basically have a Houston area code if we're wholesaling in Houston, right? So Google Voice is our best way to get phone numbers absolutely for free. What I'm going to tell everyone in here is we are going to focus roughly on, I'll probably say, I know this is going to scare everyone, but we're going to do 20 door knocks. Guy, oh, well, I don't want to do that. Guys, if you live in the area, knock on 20 doors of pre-foreclosures. I've been a little more crazier about that because Rick has really been pushing doing the older methods, and this is stuff that has just been working for people. The older methods, and one of the oldest, most classic ways Rick has done deals is door knocks. And so we're going back to the old classic marketing. 20 door knocks, we're making that a thing now. Now, what we're going to do too is we are just going to be roughly going after government lists. So we are going to roughly try to get at least 500 for the month. Paul, at least 500. So these can be probates, water shutoffs, fire damaged properties, liens, evictions. I teach this all in my free wholesaling course and free community. What is it again? freewholesaling.com. It is the largest wholesaling community in the country. It is also the largest wholesaling course in the country because it's the only one that's free. And I'm a multimillionaire through it. I'm a multimillionaire through wholesaling real estate, and I'm a multimillionaire giving out a course for free. But yeah, government lists, 500 a month. Let's make that a minimum. I wish it was more, but there's a lot of skip chasing we got to do. So we got a lot of effort we got to be going out here and doing it. Now, what I'm going to do is I would probably say you need to connect with 50 wholesalers and then just basically calls. What I mean by this is in 30 days, you should roughly be on the phone with 1 to 2 wholesalers in your market or in your area for virtual wholesaling. This is pretty easy. Because if you just go to zachdiscord.com, which is my free Discord, I think we have 16,000 people in the Discord currently, and you're going to find some people. They're hanging out in the lounge every single day, just talking wholesaling, what we can do. If you connect with 50 wholesalers a month, I promise you that's 600 a year. Hey, I remember Zach. Let me go do a deal with him. So many ways to get wholesaling deals. JVs are one of the most underrated aspects of getting deals right now. So that is a great way. I'll do at least 50. We're going to be using, again, PandaDoc for all of our e-signatures. If we're doing JVs, if we are just virtually wholesaling real estate. And we're going to be focusing on a 10 to 15 hour a week, basically income producing activity system. Income producing activities. Now, yeah, handwriting's terrible, but my bank account's good. So this is why you got to read it. Now, I'll tell everybody watching this, why is it curving down? It's like whatever. But basically, I would focus on 10 to 15 hours a week of income producing activities. Now, I've been very, very consistent on this. And this is the really big difference between the successful ones and the non-successful ones, is if you can drop and spend at least 10 to 15 hours every single week doing something that is producing income in wholesaling. So let's play a little game. You cold calling tired landlords from an eviction list. That is producing income. Yes. You making a logo for your home buying solutions company, that is not producing you income. You going out here and telling everyone that you're going to become rich is not producing income. You texting sellers on a probate list is producing income. You drawing for dollars is producing income. You not drawing for dollars is not producing income. Okay? Just ask yourself, is this going to make me money in wholesaling or is this not going to make me money? Simple as that. And that is going to be basically a system I would tell everyone. And then we're going to roughly do, not try, but we're going to be putting out 60 digital bandit signs out this month. Bandit signs a month. Does that make sense? So we're going to post at least 1 ad a day on Facebook groups, costs no money at all. And then we're going to do 1 ad on Craigslist. Now, the reason for the system is if we post on Craigslist, hey, me and my partner are going to buy a couple more properties in the area for cash. You do that on a Facebook group with 30, 40,000 people in the local area, and we post at least 1 in the Craigslist. We are going to get inbound wholesaling deals, and we use Google Voice for the inbound leads. We're going to be doing well. We're going to be making a ton of money here. So 60 digital bandit signs in the month, that is what we need to do. Now, this is all going to be costing us really not much money at all. Now, how do I make this fit? So we're going to go out here and try to make this fit here. But what I'm going to do here is let's add this on the top. All right, just so we can visualize this. All right, roughly, and we'll add 60 digital bandit signs. But the reason is this right here should land us, if we do our math right, $0 in ad spend and roughly 80 hours per week in work. Now, before you cry to me, Zach, I don't want to work 80 hours a week. That's a lot of work. Well, you got no money. You cannot be complaining if you're broke. Broke people can't complain about if it's too hard. Guys, being broke is hard enough. We do not have the yip yap chat. You do not have the yapping right now for me to tell you that, yo, you should relax. You're broke. Guys, if you are broke, you can't relax. You can't afford to relax. You can't afford to be lazy. I'm just being honest with you. I'm just being honest. I do not want to hear anybody complaining if you're broke. Now, I've said this so many times, but I'm going to continue to say this. If you are watching this and you do not have any kids, you are not married, and you live with your parents, and you're under the age of 30, you have no excuse why you cannot do this. Zero. Absolutely zero. Because I have single moms who have 4 kids who work 2 full-time jobs that are still making wholesaling real estate deals happen every single month. And they got like 4 kids. And they got multiple jobs, and they're still finding time to wholesale real estate. So whatever excuse you're going to tell me, I don't care. Here's the truth. Nobody cares except for your mama. The only one that really cares about your problems is your mama. And outside of her, nobody really cares about your issues. Being honest with you, nobody wants to hear it. So you have zero excuses why you are staying broke. You have to do it. You have no other option. This is your option. Okay, now for some people that have some money. Now, you might be, well, is it 80 hours and that's what I have to? No, it is not what you have to. There are way easier ways. But if you're broke and you're young and you have no responsibility, this is what I'm pushing everybody to do. Now, if you're the average wholesaler, you got some money, right? I would tell everyone, first and foremost, let's drive for dollars. I want at least 100 a week. I mean, I don't think this is difficult. I don't think I'm asking too much of you. 100 a week. Listen to your Taylor Swift. I don't really care. But shake it off. That's all I could say. Shake it off. I would add at least 100 sticky notes on doors. I'm not even asking a door knock here. Just put 100 sticky notes on doors. And I think you're going to be great. I would love for you to do it on the pre-foreclosures. That would actually be great. I would love that. Now, what we're going to do here is I'm not trying to get you to kill yourself, but what I'm going to do is probably do at least 3,000 what I call niche calls. So I want you for the month, right? So let's do this for the month. For the month, I want you to call at least 3,000 sellers. Now, we're going to be using our Ninja Mode dialer inside of here. Now, you can use, there's also a triple line dialer inside of Ninja Mode. You can do it's $150 a month. Maybe not for everyone starting out if it's not within your budget, but if you want to push that up, you can. But I think the single auto line dialer is going to be enough for here. But what I mean by this is automatically you're going to do niche leads. So I would be doing the government lists. I would be adding some of the AI lists inside of X leads, maybe some really hyper targeted like high equities for certain areas that have a ton of basically buyers in them that are looking to buy, right? I would just niche it out to the most motivated 3,000 we can, I think within X leads and through all their government lists. And obviously we're going to call the drawing for dollars list, so we should be good. Now, if you're using the Ninja Mode dialer, right? So we're going to be, say, the Ninja Mode dialer. Now, I'm not telling you the Ninja Mode dialer because obviously X leads is the best. And I'm trying to get everyone to get X leads. I'm not doing that just to try to tell you. There's only one specific reason why. If you have a dialer that does this, then use your own dialer. But what I want you to do is when you cold call the 3,000 niche lists, what happens when they don't answer the call? What do most wholesalers do? They just go, oh, they didn't answer. And then they just go and try to call another list. I'll be honest, everyone's calling a lot of these like paid software lists, right? I mean, it's not like a big secret, I think, right? I think a lot of people are doing it. One thing I can tell you though, is if you are calling these paid software lists and you're doing like a high equity, everyone's calling the high equity. I'm being 100 with you right now, okay? Everyone's calling the same high equity lists. Now, what the average person does is they call the high equity list, and like 25% of them answer, or 20% of them answer, that means for every 1,000, okay, that means that every 1,000 calls you make, about 800 of them don't pick up. Now, the average person just says, oh, okay, well, I'll drop a voicemail and I'll just call it a day. Well, what I want you to do, and I know this sounds like very manual, it's not. What I tell everyone to do is just those 800 that didn't pick up, call them. I'm not asking anything crazy, just call them. If they don't pick up, call them again. Okay, cool. Well, what do? They don't answer. Well, go text them. We'll have to put them through a texting software. Now, the reason why I tell you to use the Ninja Mode Dialer is because within the Ninja Mode Dialer, when somebody says no answer, like they don't pick up the phone, they don't answer it, automatically within the Ninja Mode Dialer, because it has SMS inside of it, they get sent a text. So we automatically text everyone that didn't pick up the phone. That's the point. So that means automatically we are going to be using Ninja Mode. I'm going to use a little arrow. We are going to text, when I call, text all, no answers. This is the big secret on systems in 2025 that I'm making a massive push, is nobody's touching the leads that don't answer the calls. This is niched out within a niche, because maybe, and this is my favorite one, oh, everyone's pulling the same government list now. Yeah, duh. You have millions of followers now, Zach. Guys, remember I had 1,000 subscribers on YouTube? I only had like 1,000, and I was telling you about probates. Like, that's when you should have been. That's when you should have been doing it, because literally nobody was doing it. Now that I got a lot of followers, it's a lot more difficult to do. But I will tell you that still the majority of wholesalers probably aren't subscribed to this channel. I mean, I think they eventually are, but that's the really cool part. I think most wholesalers probably are. But the cool part about this is you are able now to text all the people that don't answer, because the majority of wholesalers that call, they do not do the second part, which is a lot of effort without the Ninja Mode Dialer, right? And they don't automatically, there's no dialer out here that automatically texts the seller. Maybe I'm wrong. Just guys tell me. That texts everyone that doesn't answer. And then putting them on triple tap system will work well. But I'm telling everyone, just do that, you'll be well. On top of that too, I'd probably send out an additional 2,000 texts for the month of just like anything else. Now, this can be follow-ups, things like that. And roughly, I think that's a good like triple tap system from there. And really just basically using X leads for there. Now, what you're gonna find with a system like this, now, a lot of people are like, what's the cost of this? Because this seems pretty expensive, Zach. Oh, yeah, that's where I hit you over the head. So what I'm telling you, actually, it's pretty good. So let's kind of go over the cost. Guys, what do you think the cost of a system if I wanted to get X leads, I wanted to call 3,000 sellers, I wanted to use sticky notes, and I wanted to drive for dollars, and I wanted to text about 2,000? What's the guess, guys, of the cost of a system like this? Is it $800? Is it $1,000? What do you think the cost if you do it all by yourself? And how much hours do you think it's going to take the average person to do a system like this? Let me know in the comments. I'm actually very curious. What do we get? We're getting, let's see what cost everyone's saying. We're see that's the difference in wholesaling between looking what's the best return on your investment and ROT, which is return on time. So let's see here. Oh, wow. All right, let's see what we got here. We got, what is it? 200, 500, 600. We got 300, 400, 500, right? We got a lot of cost on this. So let's kind of break this down. It's not $1,000 a month, right? So let's kind of look at it. So driving for dollars, about 20 bucks in gas, I would say, for 100. I don't think that's insane for me to do, right? I mean, I think you get that within there. Now for 3,000 calls, that's roughly going to be about $20 for the month for the dialer. That's why I tell everyone the X Leads dialer, the Ninja Mode dialer, which is basically connected with Go High Level, it's very, very, very cheap. It's at cost. I don't put any like upcharge on there because we're using Go High Level as the platform. So it's about 20 bucks. Now for the texting, it is an eighth of a penny per text. So it's about 17, to do 2,000 texts, it's about 17 bucks. So let's just add 20 bucks on there, right? Now, we also have to pay for X Leads for the month. So X Leads will be about $97 for the month on the monthly. If you get the annual, it's only $49 a month. So let's do the math here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 60 plus 100, $157. So this type of system is about $157. Now, You can make it cheaper if you wanted to. You don't have to drive for dollars. You can make it 130, 140. I think $157 a month. I think for a beginner, that's probably the best system for like an absolute like beginner out here that anyone can kind of get started with here. Now, the real question is how many hours? I'd probably say if you're going to do it correctly, you're going to be around 40 to 60 hours. Now, obviously, if you only had 10, 15, 20 hours, it's a part-time job, right? You're a busy person. You could hire a VA, maybe make it $200, $300, $400 a month, right? Can do it. Our entire actual VA training system is, we actually uploaded that course, I believe a couple of days ago in freewholesaling.com. So that's in there if you want to train them. That'll probably be $300, $400 a month, but I'm assuming starting out, I think this is the best like average system if you're going to spend some money. Because anything below that's a little, like you do like the $40 a month and you're calling with it, like you can, it's kind of in between as the driving for dollars. But I think for the average person, that's a little better. Guys, if you have a better system, let me know in the comments. I'm always a very curious person in the comments, right? That'd be one of the better ways to be doing it. Now, on an easier system, let's kind of talk about an easier system. Now, this is when you're spending a lot more money, but like let's say you're an accountant, whatever, you're making six figures, but you want to get out of it. Well, there's a lot better. Maybe you're a realtor and you want to do a little better, right? What I'll tell you is a larger system. All right, let's kind of break down some of these larger systems. So I'd tell you starting out, let's try to make at least 37,000 calls. Zach, are you crazy? Well, you're going to use a triple line system. You're going to use a bunch of VAs. About 37,000 calls is probably where you roughly want to be at. The cost of that, which we'll break down, I want you to send at least, where do we think here? 30,000 texts. Let's do 30,000 texts. Like this is large scale wholesaling, by the way, guys. Like I'm not telling you to start out doing this, but like if you want to do some large scale stuff, you'd be good to go. Obviously, you're going to use X leads for this stuff. I'd use the triple line dialer within the Ninja mode. I'll be honest with everyone. And you're probably going to be roughly using around 10 phone numbers. Now, you're just going to be basically using all the good lists, right? You're going to add government lists, drawing for dollars, and the X leads list, right? You're roughly going to be here for a system like this. And then I'd probably say 5 VAs if you want to get crazy. Now, VAs are going to be about $7 an hour. There's going to be 5 of them. So $35 an hour times 40. So 350 times 4. So let's do the little math here. 0, 0, 0, 2, 4, 5, 6, 1,700. So 17 plus, yeah, you're a couple grand on there. But it's kind of a bigger system for there. So it really depends. If you're doing it all by yourself, right, you don't want to be doing that. It can get anywhere. It'll probably be at least $1,000 plus. Now you got to remember 30,000 texts, just doing the math here. Let's do the 37,000. Let me get a calculator really quick. So 37,000 texts is going to be 30,000 texts times 0.0087 is 261. So the calls will be about 100. Oh, I got to make this green, right? 37,000 calls will be around $150 for the triple line dialer. You're at like 261 for 30,000 texts, all automated, by the way. Now, the cool part with the texting, I would go to X Leads on the X Leads YouTube channel. We're going to do a video actually this week showing the whole system. But basically, you can do your opt-out language where you can put whatever. So, for example, opt-out language says stop to unsubscribe. But within Ninja mode, you're able to make your own opt-out language. It has to have the word stop in it or unsubscribe. But one thing I've been telling people is like use stop realtors or stop owning your house as the last sentence. It's pretty cool. But yeah, all right, 97 for this one. I'd probably get the upgraded one, but whatever. 10 numbers it's $1.20 per number. So let's just do, I don't know, $15. I ain't killing you there, okay? $15 for 10 numbers is insane. And then the VAs, it's really up to you how much you want to call. If you want them to call 8 hours a day, so 7 times 5 is 35 times 40 hours in the week is 1,400 times 5. Yeah, that's actually a very expensive system. So let's not do the 5 VAs. We can remove it down. But like, it depends on how many VAs you want to add in. Maybe you have to put less calls in there. But 30,000 texts is pretty simple. And then 37,000 calls, if you're doing 60 an hour, let's do the math here, how many hours it has to be. So 37,000 calls divided by It's about those many hours, 25 days, about 24 hours a day in calling for 5. That's 5 each. So 25 hours. So 616 times 7. So about 4 grand a month. That's about 5, 6 grand. Yeah, if you had the 5 VAs, doing the math on the 37,000 calls with the text with the automations in there. So you're going to be a lot more there. Now, you really can, if you have the VAs, you can run this on like 10 hours a week, but I put at least 20 hours if you want to get a little crazier system. Now, I would add direct mail once you start getting a little crazier, but this is kind of like the whole spread of a system for your wholesaling operations, right? So we make 100 grand a year. It's a lot more difficult, but it is able to do it right. You're going to do the manual skip tracing, Google Voice, 20 door knocks every single month. We're going to go out here and do at least 500 government lists, 50 wholesalers, right? We're going to JV. Guys, go in the comments. Hey, my name's this. I'm in this market. Let people know who you are. That'd be really great. PandaDoc. Obviously, X Leads has e-signing in for free inside of Ninja mode. I mean, why not? Basically, 10 to 15 hours a week of income-producing activities. Spend $0, get about 80 hours a week. From there, we are going to drive for dollars. All right, we're going to drive for dollars at least 100 leads per week. We're going to do 100 sticky notes if we possibly can. 3,000 niche calls every single month using the Ninja Mode dialer. Texting all the no answers, 2,000 texts on top of that, roughly at 157 per month. And then on the easy side, we are going to be doing 37,000 calls, 30,000 texts, X leads, 10 numbers, driving for dollars, all that fun stuff. And that's a lot of marketing. That is a lot of marketing. So it's really up to you which one you want to start doing. Let me know in the comments which one you guys are looking to do. But roughly, you can make it work. Now, we kind of know what we should be doing. We know how we should be doing it. But let's talk about something else. What are the biggest mistakes us wholesalers are making? Well, there are 7 deadly sins to avoid when it comes to creating a system like this or a process. And what I want to do is break these all down. Now, the biggest wholesaling sin I can see anybody do, which I just see this happening all the time, is getting into PPL or pay-per-lead. Now, we're dropping a massive video on the 27th about this. So that is when things start getting a little crazier. But there is a new one-to-one consent law when it comes to marketing, especially in wholesaling, but this is kind of in general. And basically what this means is if you are not producing the lead yourself, there's a lot of liability if there's no one-to-one consent. Now that means if you have a PPL provider and they are not doing the law correctly, I think some of them are, some of them aren't, but if they do it wrong, if you buy a lead from a PPL provider and they do not do it the right way, which you have to put your trust into somebody else, which is actually kind of crazy, you can be sued. Now, let me tell you about lawsuits. Anybody can sue you for anything, all right? Anyone can sue you for anything. So just understand that. But there's a little more liability from this law from what I think. But what I'll tell everyone is I would avoid PPL in general. I prefer because the reason PPL makes money is because they go out here and do the Facebook ads, the SEO. Some of them do some cold calling, I believe. Some of them go out here and they produce their own lead and they sell you the lead. I would rather not give them a 20, 30, 40, 50% profit margin. I don't know what the profit margins are, but it's roughly costing, maybe it'll cost them $100 to produce a lead. They sell it to you for $400. I would rather you do the Facebook ads, you do the SEO, you do all that stuff versus paying somebody for there. Because what I found is the average cost per deal on PPL right now is around $7,000. And this is only set to go up. I've talked to about 5 or 6 PPL wholesalers that actually are doing well. And they tell me on average, they're closing 1 out of 20. Now, let me be honest with you. Those are people that are actually good. And the average leads 350 to 400 right now. On the 27th, all PPL leads are going to go up. They're actually going to be way more expensive. So you're probably roughly looking at maybe $8,000, $9,000, $10,000, $12,000 per deal. I mean, you're being priced out. If you're making 10 grand a deal, you're losing money. So guys, do not get dragged into this. I think a lot of people are being told to be doing this. And it's because there's nice fat commissions for affiliates on there. But I mean, obviously you don't have to listen to me. Go out here and try it yourself if you want to go drop. But you're just being told to drop 7 to 8 grand a month in marketing. It breaks my heart to see people lose all their money doing this. Number two, this is kind of what I'm talking about. Do not pay your way into the big leagues. I see so many people try to do this. They try to go and pay their way into success. They say, oh, if I just start from the beginning, spend $6,000 a month, then I'm automatically going to become a successful big boy wholesaler. And that's not how it works. For the vast majority of people having success in wholesaling, what they do is they do kind of the free methods. They gain skills, they get deals, and then once their confidence goes up, their skill set on closing goes up, their skill set for buyers, they already have a little bit of buyers list, then they start upgrading. Maybe they're paying $200 a month. Maybe it's $300 a month. And then it just keeps going up and they build their way to the big leagues. This is like, have you ever played football with the coach's son who's absolutely terrible, but he's the starting quarterback because he's the coach's son? You cannot pay your way into this, right? You cannot pay your way to be in the big leagues. You're in there, you're going to get destroyed. Do not be doing that. As I see so many people lose all their money doing this. Do not do this. Number three, not marketing to probates and pre-foreclosures. This is, the deadly sin for wholesaling. But I see so many people do this. They will avoid the probates because it's hard to pull the list. Or they'll avoid the pre-foreclosures because it's hard to pull the pre-foreclosures. Bro, get out of here. If you're not doing this, you are losing out on a ton of money for wholesaling. You are losing out. Don't be doing this. Number four, avoid MLS, avoid on market for finding wholesaling deals, especially looking to make your first $100,000. Now, I have a specific challenge for anybody that fights me on this. Can one person, I don't care who you are, can one person find me 1,000 wholesalers? Can you show me 1,000 wholesalers that got a deal from MLS or on market in 2024 last year? I can show you 1,000 that did off market. Let's even go crazier. Let's talk about PPL. Find me 500 people that did a deal on PPL, and I'll find you 3,000 that did not use PPL. So the thing, I'm a numbers guy, right? Way more wholesalers are having, okay, let's do this. Find me 50 wholesalers who are making over $1 million a year in wholesaling real estate doing MLS on market. I could find you 50 right now that are not doing that. Find me 30 wholesalers making over $1 million a year only doing PPL. I could probably find you 200 or 300 that are not doing PPL, right? And that's kind of the point. The reason why the majority of the millionaires in wholesaling are not doing MLS and not doing PPL is because they actually do what works. They're not selling you something because they got no commission on it. It's just being FYI on this, okay? Now, let's talk about avoiding the paved path. This is kind of what I've been telling you. There's been not one person on the internet that has shown more people to get the first deal than me and Rick. The reason is I'm the only one that's going to give you all the information absolutely for free. Just telling you the truth. There's not one person on the internet that will give you all their information completely 100% for free. Freewholesaling.com. That's the only way that you can learn wholesaling. That is the only way you learn. Freewholesaling.com. I have no paid community. I have no paid anything. If you want to be my mastermind, whatever, just get X leads. That's how you do it. But basically, I have paved the path. For the past 6-7 years on YouTube, I have shown people how to get started for wholesaling real estate and how to make millions of dollars. There's not one person that has produced more success than me and Rick. You can't name one. We have the most students. And the truth is more people watch us and follow us and all this stuff than anyone else is because we produce the most deals. So I have trailblazed the path of you. I'm like, hey, this is how tens of thousands of people have had success. You just go cross that path. Now, there are some personalities out here, okay? There are some crazy personalities I have found that say, I don't want to do what everyone's been doing. There's a secret path. Okay. Well, there are people that do not do the traditional path that have success, but there are a lot more people that die on that path. So if you ever look at like trailblazers, right? There are people that made a path and they blazed a trail. So it's literally like they burned it so you know where to go from the Oregon Trail. The people that decided, I'm going to do my own path, it's going to be quicker. Some people found other ways, but most of the people died doing that. And so that's how it works. If you want to learn how to navigate the ocean, usually you go through a specific path for the streams and you do it the right way. When you want to do your own path that you think is going to work and it's never been proven, the whole thing could be wrecked. So just understand that. We have blaze the path. And once you start doing 10, 12 deals a month, or heck, you do 2 deals a month, then start adding in your experiment. But when you experiment starting out, not good. 6, the 5-minute abs wholesalers. There are legitimate people, maybe this is you, maybe I'm making fun of you, who knows, that they legit believe if they're fat, they got like a belly, they believe they can watch a YouTube video for 5 minutes of how to do an ab exercise and the belly goes away and they have a chiseled six-pack. There are people that legit watch videos like that, like, how do I get a six-pack in 5 minutes? There are people that say, how do I lose 15 pounds of fat in a day? There's legitimate people that ask this question. It is insane to me. There are legitimate people that ask that question. It is against the laws of thermodynamics for that to even be a thing. All right. And the problem is so many people, how do I make $1 million in a month without spending any money? How is that even a real thing? I don't even understand. It makes 0 sense to me. I don't even know how. Guys, stick to the basics. How do 99% of people with abs get abs? They eat good food and they exercise. You ask yourself, how do I not exercise? How do I eat 5,000 calories a day and just do nothing all day and have abs? It's like, well, let's look at where 99% of the people who have abs do it. They do the basics. Guys, 99% of the people who become millionaires in wholesaling make at least 100 grand. They do the basics. They do off market. They cold call. They text. They do the proven path. That is it. We don't get cute. We don't try innovations. We don't do these crazy, massive methods. We don't. But then we get a little crazy after that. But like, guys, come on. And lastly, letting fear control you. Now, a lot of fear comes from non-education or bad education, right? I got told last year that wholesaling was banned in the state of South Carolina. Because sometimes I'm an absolute troll, I decided I was going to do 5 deals in the state of South Carolina the month it became illegal. I used a title, I didn't use title company, kind of a title company, but basically I went out here and used an attorney that was okay with, he said, yeah, it's legal, Zach. And I said, roger that, sir. And I wholesaled 5 deals in South Carolina that month. And I did many more after that. Just to prove to you that it is not, I said, guys, read the law. I read the law. I said, no, it's legal. My attorney said it's legal. Well, I'm going to go do some deals. And we're good. And so, but people actually think it's illegal to wholesale in the state of South Carolina. I have been told that it's illegal to wholesale in Pennsylvania. I've done a lot of deals in Pennsylvania. I have been told that this market's illegal, and then I continue to do 5, 15, 20 deals in that market in a year. The thing is, what people tell you and what the actual law is a lot different. You're going to be told this year. I don't even know how. I don't even know why. But someone's going to say in a comment, this state's illegal for wholesaling. Okay. Well, I believe in what I call evidence. Can you show anybody that's been in trouble for that? So for example, is robbing a bank illegal? There's no debating this. I know plenty of stories of people robbing banks and they go to prison and go to jail and get in trouble. I don't know anybody, and this is a legitimate fact. Okay, this is a legitimate fact. I'm going to say this right now. This is Zach's hot take, Stephen A. Smith, Zach Ginn style. I believe, I've not seen this. Show me evidence, please. I'm begging anybody. Show me evidence of one person who has done an assignment of contract, like a legitimate assignment of contract in any state in the United States that got arrested, that got fined, that got in trouble, who is not a realtor. Just a regular person who did an assignment of contract that got in trouble from the law. There's not one. Because in the United States, we have something called the contract clause in the Constitution. I actually read the Constitution. And the ability to write and form contracts cannot be, that right as a citizen of the United States can never be in front of you. It can never be attacked. States can't make laws against forming and writing contract. Now, there are some exceptions, which we've read. Actually, Howard Taft was a Supreme Court justice. He had some legal precedent he wrote on there as a Supreme Court justice. But was it Taft? It was one of them. Taft or Thurgood Marshall, one of them. Both smart people. But basically, there's been no law that has ever hindered wholesaling real estate on the assignment of contracts specifically that I have personally found. There are some with market, but like the assignment, no. People will tell you theories on wholesaling. Here's another one. Wholesaling's dead. I get that a lot. Okay, Bro, why is wholesaling dead? It's saturated. Okay, well, can you show me people not doing deals then? Well, they are doing it. They'll just do another market that's saturated. And people say that's dead, but they say that because they're trying to sell you a course. They're trying to complain. So people let fear control these things, and then just the others. Hey, I don't think I can do it. I don't think I'm the guy. I don't believe in myself. I don't have confidence. I don't deserve to be rich. I don't deserve to be successful. Guys, I hear it all. Guys, do not let fear control you. What I always say is control the controllables. If you're able to control something, control it. If you cannot control it, do not focus it. Do not put your energy towards that. So you control what is controllable, and that's how you have success wholesaling real estate. So avoid these deadly sins. Number one, avoid PPL. Okay, I'll do a whole video on the 27th about it if you want really to go into details. But guys, don't pay your way into the big leagues. You have to earn your way. Go from the free stuff all the way up. You can kind of go in the middle if you want, but don't go all the way to the end. Earn your way there. Avoid MLS on market. Do not avoid, okay? You have to wholesale the probate supreme foreclosures. Please do it. Avoiding the paved path is a bad, deadly sin. Do not be the 5-minute ad person, and do not let fear control you. Wholesaling real estate is the path to success. So we know where you got to be at, right? We got this system, and this system. I'm going to give everyone a couple seconds to screenshot this so you can have success in wholesaling real estate. How do I flip this? Let's see here. All right, give everyone a second here on how they can do this. So let's go here, make this a little better for everyone. There we go, hold on. There we go, don't be mad at me. All right, are we screenshotting this, guys and gals? There we go, are we screenshotting? There we go. Are we screenshotting? Give everyone a second here, let's go look at the system. Again, we have a hard system where we have $0. We have a system where it's about 80 hours a week. We have a system where we have the average amount of wholesaling. We have an easier system, really depending on the cost on here. I'm gonna let everyone screenshot this for a second, and let me answer any of the questions you guys have about wholesaling real estate. So let's answer some quick questions on here. I know there's a lot of information, but I want everyone to know, guys, if you want to start wholesaling real estate, I have a free community, I have a free course. I invite everyone on here to talk to other successful wholesalers. Guys, if you don't believe me, if you think I'm a fraud, if you think I'm a scam, whatever it is, I get it all the time, right? From people who like don't wholesale, and they're like, oh, this guy's not legit. And I say, just go to Wholesaling.com. They're legit haters that turn into my fans. They say, Zach's a scam, Zach's not legit. Guess what they do? They go to Wholesaling.com, they say, is Zach legit? You have 15 comments. Oh, I made my first 50 grand this month from Zach. I made my first 10 grand last month from Zach. I'm like, wow, these people are real. And you're like, I guess Zach's not a scam. Well, he's going to sell me some program. He's like, wait, they got no program to sell me. Dang it. I just moved Flipboard Plus for free at the X-Leads Mastermind now. But I mean, X-Leads is X-Leads, the software. So it's like, dang, I guess they're not selling any information. What's the scam? Well, he's trying to get JV deals. Got me.